Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime Making 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 9 of What If Naruto Awakened the Rinne-Tenseigan. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto got a new training trip partner that changed everything over on Anime Making 2, and enjoy that guys. And over on Anime King, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Became the God of Lightning. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King, Anime King 2, and Anime King 3, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last time we left off as Void arrived in Naruto's room. As Naruto spoke to him like he knew him for a very long time. As he asked him how's the plan going, Void told Naruto that he got to Orochimaru. It's just a matter of time now before he get what he wants. As Orochimaru didn't trust him one bit and he knew that. And the moment he had a chance he would betray him and kill him within a second. Well, Void was planning on killing him anyway. As Void asked Naruto about the Chunin exams, if he was going to use abilities, but Naruto told him no, as it wasn't really worth his time to use them against a bunch of kids. As Void told him that he was being a little bit too overconfident, but Naruto simply shrugged it off. As the exam then came, the third part, which was the preliminaries. As the matches went off, with Sasuke's newfound strength and speed, and plus he didn't have the curse mark, Sasuke obliterated Jiraiya. As the rest of the matches went through, as Naruto was rather silent through all of them, as Sakura went down there and faced off against Ino, as the both of them ended up knocking out each other. That was a rather pathetic battle. The rest of the matches went off, showing the ninja seer skills, as Naruto found none of them interesting. Well, Gaara, because of his bloodlust, but at the moment he wasn't needed. As Naruto's name was called as he went down there to face off against Lee. Lee gave him a firm bow, as he hoped for a good fight between them. As Naruto didn't take him seriously at first, but Lee showed why he should be taken seriously. As Lee upped his speed, after removing the weights he was moving like a blur, as everyone watched as he knocked Naruto around and slammed him into the ground. Naruto picked himself up though, surprising everyone that he was able to get up after that. As Naruto realized that he's been holding back too much, seems like Lee was at least worth his time. There was a seal on Naruto's chest similar to his Rinne-Tenseigan, as one of the outer lines vanished. And Naruto's speed tripled as both him and Lee went around causing chaos amongst the ring. As Naruto was relishing and enjoying the battle as the both of them clashed violently, destroying everything. But guys saw that Lee was being outpaced as Naruto knocked him out as he slammed into the wall. Guy went down there as he saw Lee was completely unconscious. As the medics then came over, it was a good fight, Naruto had to admit. At least, it got his blood flowing, his muscles pumping. When that was over, they were told who they will be facing off against in the finals. As Naruto's name was called to face off against Gaara. Kakashi told Naruto he wanted to train Sasuke, as Naruto told him that he'll be fine. Kakashi still was going to send someone by to at least help Naruto in certain areas. But knowing Naruto, he was just going to ignore them as Kakashi thought. Time then passed as someone was sitting out in the forest area of the Fire Nation when Jiraiya arrived, as he never thought he would actually find him so quickly, as Void was standing there, and it seems like the man who was waiting for him. Indeed he was. So yeah guys, those basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across to the place and check out for yourself. So just to begin this new episode, we begin this episode in the office, as Hiruzen was currently sitting behind his chair. In front of him was Jiraiya. Jiraiya just relayed to Hiruzen what just happened when he was coming back to the village. Well, this is certainly some strange piece of information we've gotten on Void," Hiruzen said. "Well, I saw his technique firsthand, but I can't even tell what it is," Jiraiya said to him. "It's the same thing like you told me. It was like he was there 1 second, and next second he was not there. But the strangest thing was, he didn't fight back. Not even once," Hiruzen said. "No. He kept on popping around, but he didn't fight me at all. Even when I tried to restrain him, he didn't put up a fight. It was like he couldn't fight me in whatever he was doing. Something was off, but I can't put a finger on it. I don't know if it's some dojutsu or something, but it's powerful, because he just kept on blinking out of sight. And you cannot feel any fluctuation of chakra to find out where exactly he is. Yes, it is surely some troublesome news. After all, he was able to get into all of the towers in each hidden village. It seems like he's just putting on a show to show that he's untouchable. He might be untouchable, but that doesn't matter when you can't put up a fight either. So, he told you that the invasion is coming?" "Yes, but he didn't tell me where or when Orochimaru will come. When I asked him why he was doing this, he told me it's because life is boring." "What?" "Yes. He said it's boring and he just wants to have some fun. Judging by that statement, I'm guessing that he will be here as well," said Hiruzen. "Yes, probably," said Jiraiya, as he couldn't really understand that Void, who exactly he was, or what exactly he wants. "So, the kid made it through," Jiraiya said, changing the topic. "Yeah," Hiruzen said. "He was quite efficient in his battle today. He has grown quite strong. It seems like he has gotten stronger without even me noticing. Not even Kakashi had told me that he is improved that much." "Did he really make such a leap?" asked Jiraiya. "Yes, it was quite impressive. He and another student known as Rock Lee was able to completely decimate the arena era. Yes, I can see it now. The boy will become as great or even greater than his father." A sad smile came on Jiraiya's face. "You don't know how to approach him?" "Well, I know I just can't tell him about his lineage yet, but how will I even go about this? How can I even look to him and speak to him, knowing who exactly he is, while he doesn't even know that I'm supposed to be his godfather?" "You know it's not time for that, Jiraiya. He might be strong when it comes to Genins, but for Jonins, and the enemies that his father had gathered over the years, he is still way out of his league. So we have to wait until he's properly able to protect himself." Jiraiya nodded as he understood. "So who will be training for this month?" he asked. "Well, that's the thing. He doesn't have a trainer." "Wait, what happened to his sensei?" said Jiraiya. "He went to train Sasuke for the finals." "Wait, what?" "It's not like you think," Hiruzen said. "Kakashi is the only other person with a Sharingan that is here that can help Sasuke. He offered to find Naruto another teacher, but Naruto said no." "He said no?" "Yeah, that's the thing about him as well. Ever since he was younger, he loved to train by himself. Not to mention a couple months before the academy ended, that is what caused his big change." "What do you mean?" "Well, change of clothing, attitude, and everything. But this will be a good chance for the both of you to catch up, for you to meet him and speak to him. You can be his trainer for the month." "Well, this is the best time to get to know him," Jiraiya said. "Alright, set it up." Time skip. Naruto was making his way towards a hot spring, as Hiruzen had told him that, seeing that Kakashi was out, he got someone to train him for the month. As Naruto already knew who it was, but he played ignorance like he didn't know. As he made his way towards a hot spring, Hiruzen told him that his trainer was there waiting on him. Arriving there outside, Naruto saw no one, so he decided to enter. As he made his way to the changing section, as he took off his clothing and put on a towel that wrapped around his waist, making his way inside, he might as well have a soak. Walking over, as Naruto sank down into the water, as he could feel all the joints in his body relaxing. He flexed his arm. It's been a long time since he actually engaged in combat, and fighting with Lee, he got his blood flowing and his body moving, and he come to love and enjoy the battle. He could see why Madara was obsessed with proving that he was strongest by always fighting the strongest. Even though he lost to Hashirama, the man never stopped. He kept on going on, even though Hashirama had clearly been his superior in the battle. But because the man was his friend, he didn't want to kill him. Well, Naruto wouldn't tell him that. Well, he was gone now, so it didn't matter. As Naruto lay back, he heard giggling. He paid no mind at all, as the giggling continued. Jiraiya knew that he was here to help Naruto. But, carving a hole in the wall that separated the female and male section, he was currently getting some research done. Blood was leaking from his nose, as he was completely ignorant to everything around him, not even notice that Naruto was here. Well, Naruto didn't want him to know, as Jiraiya kept on giggling to himself. But the steam was getting in his way. As he made his way, as he saw a tree, a beautiful tree with a chair underneath it for the shade for the tree, so people could relax here if they didn't want to go into the water. Jiraiya climbed up in the tree as he started to go off to the largest branch. Making his way, he pulled out his binoculars as he started spying the girls, as he was having such a good time. Suddenly, the branch that he was on started to creak before it broke. He was confused. He tested it was sturdy enough to hold his weight, but now, it was too late as he fell right down into the female section. All eyes turned towards him. Blood-curdling scream could be heard as they beat him severely. As Naruto found himself chuckling a bit. Despite him being in the water, his eye protector was still on. As he leaned back, it only took a few seconds for Jiraiya to come out running for his life. As he hit around the corner, all the females came running by. As Jiraiya panted, he held on to his chest. As Naruto was laughing to himself. "Find something funny, kid," said Jiraiya, as he looked over. "Yeah, you," said Naruto. Jiraiya looked at the boy. Hiruzen did tell him that he was, well, wearing something over his face to hide his eyes. A new fashion style that he kind of liked, which Jiraiya found ridiculous. How could he see properly in a fight? Well, most ninjas always wear some ridiculous decor on their outfit, so he decided just ignore that for now. "How dare you be so disrespectful to me, brat? Do you even know who I am?" Jiraiya asks. "No, why should I?" "Well, if you must know." Jiraiya then started to turn as he twists. As he strike a pose. "I am Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sannin, and a sage of Mount Myoboku. Lesser men tremble in fear when they hear my name. Ladies can't get enough as they tremble with pleasure, because I am the #1 Mount Myoboku sage, Jiraiya." Jiraiya looked at Naruto. "Hey." But Naruto wasn't saying anything. Because he had that thing over his eye, it was hard to tell if he was looking at him. But his face was facing him, but he wasn't answering. Jiraiya marched over. "Hey, you listening to me, kid?" "Sorry," said Naruto. "I kind of dozed off. I never thought I would see something so lame before." Jiraiya eyebrow and twitch. "You got quite the mouth on you, huh, brat? And you're quite stupid for a so-called legendary Sannin, aren't you?" "Huh, I might be stupid, in your regards, but I can kick your ass all over Konoha." "Do you really believe that?" Naruto asks. "Of course I do. That is where I shine. After all, a little punk kid like you is not even a match for me. Tell you what, if you match land a single hit on me, I'll train you. After all, I am the Great Toad Sage. Many people would go on their knees begging for my training. So you should be happy and privileged that I'm even offering it to you. And I just have to land one hit on you, huh? Yeah, barely even a grace. After all, I won't let a punk kid like you show me up. So what do you say? Would you accept the offer? After all, you would be trained by one of the greatest shinobi to ever live." As he gave a confident smirk. "And what if I accidentally kill you?" said Naruto. Jiraiya blinked at that, before he burst out laughing. "Huh, it looks like you're a comedian. Don't worry, you won't even touch me. After all, if you manage to get a good hit on me, then that would..." Jiraiya couldn't get to finish that sentence, as the water exploded, caught him off guard as he never expected that. It flew up in the air. It splashed in his face, but he still glanced around. He didn't see anything, except he felt something. A foot slammed into his back. Jiraiya was caught completely off guard. This couldn't be possible, because the strength he felt behind the hit was nothing normal. His body was picked off the ground and thrown, as he smashed into the wall separating the female and male side. Jiraiya peeled himself off before falling down to the ground. Confused, what just happened? Naruto walked over and looked down at him. You know, I never said ready, said Jiraiya. Well, that's the thing, huh? Being a ninja is all about being unexpected and surprising your enemy. Why would I tell you when I'm going to attack? You're a Sanin, you should know these things. Are you that stupid? Look, brat, just because you got one luck hit on me, don't go thinking that you're a big shot. After all, that was just an accident. You probably just swim underneath the water when I was distracted. But I must say you're quite strong for a kid. And I see that you're not using any of the Kyuubi's power. Jiraiya looked at his facial features, but nothing changed. You know, it's really hard to read you when you're wearing that thing. That's the entire point. I thought you would at least be a bit surprised that I know about that. Why should I? You know, I know who you are. I'm not an idiot. You're the student, along with Lady Snaddy and Orochimaru of the Sanin. You three are legendary Sanin, the third Hokage student. If you didn't know about the Kyuubi, or that is still within me, you'd have been the dumbest person in the village. Stupider than those villagers who think that I'm the monster itself, just because it's still within me. A sad look flashed across your face before it was gone. So you purposely let me go on, act like you didn't know me. Why, said Jiraiya. Well, I want to see what kind of crap you will come along with to train me. Yeah, the old man told me. What do you think? He just told me to come here? Do you think I wouldn't ask, said Naruto? He told me a new trainer was going to come here for me. So, I figured that you were that trainer. It's quite strange though. Why would you of all people as Sanin take interest in me? I mean, I'm a nobody. Not counting the Kyuubi. I'm not really that special. Huh. You're underestimating yourself, kid. I heard you put on quite the show in the exams. Well, that's because of hard work and training. Nothing else. I don't even rely on the Kyuubi's power, after all. What would that make me to rely on the beast's power? Getting strong on your own. That's good. But why not use the power that you were given? Probably, in the future, said Naruto. As he moved back and Jiraiya got to his feet. Well then, how about becoming my apprentice? Well, that is if you prove yourself. After all, taking on a new apprentice isn't something I often do. Yeah, I know. Your last one was the fourth Hokage. You know about that, huh? Yeah, of course, I told you I know about you. Huh, it's kind of strange, huh? What is, Jiraiya asks. Well, think about it. Blonde hair and blue eyes. Jiraiya's finger twitched just the slightest. What do you mean? Me and the fourth Hokage, we're kind of similar. Well, if it wasn't for the whisker marks. Huh. It's just a thought. After all, how could that man ever be my father? I mean, he's this powerful all-knowing ninja. I'm just this brat that has to work hard and still don't really get anywhere. Well, at least I'm getting training from Asani now. I can get a bit stronger and prepare for the finals. Don't put yourself down, kid. Of course you'll get stronger, said Jiraiya. As he placed a hand on top of Naruto's head. He decided to change the subject, but that thing on your eyes, you sure won't be a hindrance in your fight? Nah, said Naruto. It gave me a better look, and not to mention, I like it. Do you, said Jiraiya. Alright then, meet me here tomorrow, and we'll begin your training. Yeah, sure thing. As Naruto started to walk off, Jiraiya stood there. Huh, that was strangely too close. Him comparing himself to Minato. If he wasn't doubting himself, he would have think deeper in it. Suddenly, a toad hopped towards Jiraiya. Jiraiya looked down. Huh? Hey, Jiraiya-sama, the toad said. Gamakunto. I came here through the well. Gamabunta said that you must summon him immediately. What's wrong? Don't know. Some big thing is going on though. Jiraiya nodded. Alright. Jiraiya made his way to an open area as he went through hand sign. Summoning Jutsu. Poof. Jiraiya, the smoke cleared away. Gamabunta, I hope you're not messing with me. Tell me to summon you here just because you want payback for what I did. Yes indeed, I will squash you for summoning me to peep on women and using my back as a leverage to run away. But that is not it. The great elder Toad had another prophecy. What? I thought that was impossible. We all did. But it seems like things have changed. And he had another prophecy. He wants to see you immediately. Yeah, said Jiraiya as he climbed into the toad's mouth. The toad reversed summoned itself back to Mount Myoboku. Moments later, as Jiraiya stood in front of the great elder sage, he was quite old. Jiraiya boy, it's good to see you again. Why are you here? Jiraiya's sweat dropped. Remember, you were the one that called him. You had a prophecy to give to him. What? Prophecy? Yes, said Shima. You had something to tell him. Oh, I remember now. So Jiraiya boy, what are you doing here? Everyone's sweat dropped. You called him. You had something to tell him. Oh, that is right, the elder toad said. Jiraiya, he says, he became serious. In my long life, I've only have a few dreams. Some of my dreams, as you know, could predict the future, or I see glimpses of things that will happen. Things that are very vague though. But it's never happened so, well, similar timing. Well, you told me that before, Jiraiya said. I'm quite surprised as you are. Yes, even I was surprised, the elder toad said. What did you see? Something that has to do with everyone, the elder toad said. I don't know who it is. All I saw was the Shinigami itself. It was strange, like a mass. I didn't know what it was doing. There were two of them. The Shinigami. And then a mass. Something with the Shinigami. Jiraiya was confused as he looked at the toad. Yes, it's quite vague. But the masked figure near the Shinigami was hollow. Removing the mask, all I saw was darkness. Never-ending darkness. And behind him, everything was on fire. Whoever this person is, it seems like they are going to decide the fate of the world. And for some reason your fate is also tied within it. And another with red eyes. His fate is tied within as well. But something concerning the Shinigami, I have never witnessed something like that before, Jiraiya. The Shinigami is supposed to be a being of pure death itself. And you were there as well, Jiraiya. Yes, you were on your knees. Blood leaking from your eyes. And that's it. Isn't there anything else, Jiraiya said? That is rather vague. I know. But that is all. That is all my vision gave to me. Jiraiya stood there confused. What could this mean? Jiraiya's mind did snap on something. You said that the Shinigami was there with another Shinigami? That was a mask? Yes. There has been a character going around recently, known as Void, who's wearing a Shinigami mask, who's known as Void. Do you believe that he's the one responsible for this? I wouldn't be able to tell you, Jiraiya. That is all I witnessed. But you were there. It seems like your fate is intertwined with whatever is going to happen. I just told you this to make sure that you're cautious. It seems like, near in the future, everything's gonna change. What about the other prophecy? About the one that would bring the world to destruction or save it? I have never had my prophecy overlap before. That is a strange thing, Jiraiya. That is why I'm so concerned. As Jiraiya saw how serious the toad was, something was wrong. Really wrong here. Time skip. Jiraiya was in the office along with Sarutobi, as he was currently given the information that he heard from the toad. And he told you that he saw a Shinigami mask. Yes. It is troubling me as well, Sensei, because the only person that we know that has been popping around lately is Void. But I thought this guy was just someone who's over his head and doing things that will, well, put him down soon enough. After all, we have a lot of those people before who's caused problem and they didn't last too long. This is serious, said Hirzan, as he never expected this to be a recurring thing, where even the toads came in. He didn't say anything else, but he told me that my future was also intertwined with this. As the two of them were talking, someone was standing right outside the window. He was standing right there, but no one was able to see him. As usual, as it was none other than Void, as he jumped off. He snarled because he made his way. Time skip, as Naruto was currently in his room. Sitting by the window was Void, as he was talking to him. I wasn't mentioned. No, said Void. I was the one that was mentioned from the description. But this just proved that everything's gonna fall into place, correct? Well, I never had my prophecy told before, so I'm not sure. But now knowing him, he's gonna try everything in his power to stop you from achieving your goal. We can't allow that toad to learn anymore, said Void. Mount Myoboku, I know where it is. Yeah, said Naruto as he got out of bed. He was just sitting down on the edge. Well then, you have a job to do. You don't need to say it twice, said Void. And with that he was gone. Time skip. 2 days passed since the whole event. Jiraiya has put Naruto training on hold, as he's went to talk to some of his spies. He told Naruto that he'll be back in a week or so, and he will still help him with his training. But he had to go find out some information. He had to see if any of them had any information on Void. Most people in the world that are rather naive think that to get to Mount Myoboku or the Snake Forest, you had to be reverse summoned there. But a human can make their way there. They just had to know exactly where it was. Mount Myoboku was polluted with nature energy. So much nature energy, in fact the toads were always in tune with nature. As the elder toad sage, he was one of the oldest toad here. Despite him losing his mind sometime, his mind was very sharp when it comes to nature energy. He could still feel everything around him, like when he was young. At the moment, it was night time for the toads. The moment someone stepped foot inside Mount Myoboku, he sensed it. As he felt it. Dark, corrupted, wicked. This hollow feeling. This feeling that feels like it wants nothing but death. As he knew that he was here for him. He could feel it. As he realized now whoever this Void character is, he was at the Hidden Leaf. Or he had some contact with the Hidden Leaf. He was not the only one that sensed them though. Shima and Fukazaku made their way. They quickly made their way to the Elder Toad Sage. Someone's here, he said. Giant hopping could be heard, shaking the ground. As Gamabunta, Gamahiro, several other large toads made their way. Oh, a welcome party. That's nice. Who are you? Said Gamabunta as he looked down. Oh, you haven't heard of me. Well, that's quite rude. Well, my name is Void. What's yours? So you're a Void, huh? Said Jiraiya. You're the one that Jiraiya boy has been looking for. Well, I guess I can do him a favor by taking you out right here and now. As Gamabunta brought down his hand. Boom! He destroyed the ground, but Void already jumped back. Void slid on the ground as he smiled. Gamahiro brought down his blades, ready to sever him into pieces. Only for Void to look up. The blades were stopped by this invisible barrier as they started to bend backwards before they snap. Void then raised his hand as the two giant pieces that broke off flew towards him as he caught it. They were rather large. He then twisted his body like a gig as he tossed them. Gamahiro used a blunt part of his blades to block them, but Void held out his hand as he lowered. Gamahiro found his blades stuck in the ground as the two pointed areas that were sent towards him stabbed right through his eyes. Everyone looked on in shock as they split through his head. Gamahiro started to fall. Boom, his body dropped like a thud. The Elder Toad looked angry as he looked upon Void. But given his whole weakened body, he couldn't do anything at the moment. But he was sure this was him. Take him out, said Gamahunta, as all of the toads moved forward. It's quite an intimidating sight to see you all coming towards me. Well, it would have been. As he held out his hand. Stop, said Shima, as she felt a buildup of chakra, but it was too late. A force was released from Void, something unnatural that corrupted the area. It released now widespread as it slammed into each of the toads. The elder toad sage was blown off his small throne as he smashed right into the wall. His whole body ached with pain. As he crouched up on the wall, he knew that it was his time. He couldn't escape his fate. It's quite good for you not to run. Well, it doesn't look like you can run anyway. So you're the one, the elder toad said, looking at Void. You're the one that is trying to achieve the impossible. And what do you mean by that? Well, from my vision I could tell that you were trying to do something with the god of death. I don't know exactly what you wanted, or what you want to do. But you should know, it won't work. There are too many people in this world that will rise up to stop you if you try to enslave them. Enslave? I don't know what you're talking about. Seems like you lost your screws, old toad. You're hiding. For what reason I don't know why, the toad says. He looked at Void. Are you afraid of something? Afraid? Trust me, I'm not afraid of anything. Then why do you hide your face? Well, my identity is kind of a secret. Before Void could say anything else, a tongue was shot towards him as he dodged aside, moving from the great old toad. It was then that a massive combination jutsu was sent straight towards him, oil and flames that lit up the entire night. Void flipped through hand sign. Fire style hell missile, he slammed his hand on the ground. It cracked. As fire started to spew out, it shot forward like a missile as it slammed into the jutsu. Everything exploded with pure fire. Void didn't raise his hand and the sight appeared in a poof. He then shot forward as several other toads attacked him. He sliced and diced, taking the known pretty much ease. Shima and Fukazaku bowing through hand sign as they start to gather up chakra in their lungs. Gamabunta, who picked himself up, started to gather chakra as well. All of the toads started to gather power in their mouths. Various blasts from different angles attacked Void to completely incinerate him. The moment it was few inches away from his body, he muttered one single word as they felt the buildup of chakra. Repel. The moment he said that, it was like all of their techniques were breaking from their control and turned back towards them. They had to leap away. As Void wastes no more time as he vanished, he appeared on top of the Great Toad's head. Stop him, said Fukazaku. As he moved forward, all of them did. The Toad looked up as he tried to see behind the mask through the eye holes, but all he saw was darkness. Before, swing, the sight split into his head as Void then jumped down, ripping it. As blood started to flow like a river, the giant body of the Toad crashed down to the ground, blood leaking from his forehead. As it came straight down, tainting the ground. What? You gonna attack me right here? To dishonor your fallen by destroying his body? You know, you guys wouldn't have to get hurt if you just had let me kill him in the first place. After all, the same result happened. Shima shot her tongue forward to grab him, but something switched and everyone saw it. It was like something clicked within him, and then he was gone. Oh, sorry about that. Can't let you take me prisoner. Shima blinked as Void was standing right behind her. Fukazaku spun around, but he was gone. Hey, big guy, said Void as he was standing on top of Gambunta's head. Gambunta shook his head, but Void was no longer there. See you guys, he said, as he was near to the exit before he was gone again. It was like he was there one moment and the next not. All the toads looked towards the great elder toad. He was dead. Most of them started to weep in sadness. He was dead. Most of them knew that he was old, ridiculously old. After all, he has been here since the stage of 6 bad time. But to actually see him dead was a completely different story. He was gone. Time skip, just like before. Jiraiya was in the office, but this time he was more angry and sad as well. Hiruzen couldn't believe it. as he never expected something like this to happen. I was the only one there. You were the only one I told. There were no envoys in here just like before. As at the moment the room was cleared, as the both of them were talking in privacy, then that leave one option. Void has some connection within Konoha. But still, Sensei, think about it. You and I were the only one here that night. Who could be skilled enough to go past our detection? To not be sensed at all, Sensei, to spy on us. Yes, that is quite concerning. But it means that someone is working for him. To go as far as kill the elder Toad Sage, it seems his prophecy was dead on. It seems like he was afraid that you will find out more about him, or maybe his identity. Well, whoever it is, he wants to keep his identity really bad. Jiraiya clenched his fists, but I will find out who it is. Jiraiya, don't go doing anything stupid. I know that you're angry right now for what he did, but not thinking properly might get you killed. I know that, Sensei. I know that more than anyone else. Jiraiya took a deep breath. But I need to find him. Yes, and we will. Just don't do anything stupid. Jiraiya nodded. Suddenly, the glass of the window cracked as debris fly all inside. Both Hiruzen and Jiraiya get to their feet as they dodge the large piece of glass that tried to impale them. What? I'm right here. You don't have to go looking. You, Jiraiya said. Immediately, a Rasengan formed within the man's hand as he launched himself forward. But he was gone. Jiraiya stopped his momentum as he was never going fast. He knew about this ability of his. There was no point of destroying the office. You know, he's quite feisty. Hiruzen didn't move, as Void was right beside him, a hand on his shoulder. Why is he so angry? I don't know how you're doing this, but you can drop the idiotic act. We know what you did. What I did? What are you guys talking about? Asked Hiruzen. Finger twitched the slightest, but he still didn't move. Oh, you must be talking about the tadpole. After all you've done, you speak of them in that disrespectful way. Well, I mean, it's just a toad, right? They're not even the strongest summoning creatures. You know, if you know the things that I did, you would be quite surprised. And what exactly do you know, said Hiruzen. Jiraiya flashed you hand sign immediately as Hiruzen moved forward. As Jiraiya slammed his hand down, a massive sealed array spread around the office with Void in the center, trapping him. As a barrier erupted in the office, a blue barrier that trapped Void inside, sealing kanjis all around. Got you, said Jiraiya. Huh? What's this? I know how cocky you are, so I knew after what you did, you will come back here. So I planned for it, said Jiraiya. Oh, so this was all a trap for little me. I'm honored, said Void. I mean, it's not every day people think about you so much. Well, after killing your toad friends, well, you must have been thinking about me. Keep on talking, Jiraiya said. You should know you're not going anywhere. Void sighed. What have you known about me so far? He asks. I mean, I haven't even displayed my powers yet. I'm sure the Toad told you about the things I've done. Well, I'm sure their home is probably a chaos now, trying to find a new leader and all. How have you been, Jiraiya? I mean, I heard that you were trained as a student. Naruto Uzumaki, is it? You know, I'm quite interested in that kid. He showed great promise. What do you want in Naruto? Oh, that is easy. The Nine Tails. Jiraiya and Hiruzen's eyes narrow a bit. I told you. The things I knew, if you knew them, it would shock you. You know, I wonder how the kid will feel if I tell him that you two both knew who his parents are, and is keeping from him. Jiraiya narrowed his eyes. You, of course I know. I know everything. Everything about you. Everything about this village. The underground corruption that happened. Not to mention, you. As Naruto looked at Hiruzen, making Itachi slaughter his own, well, not you per se, but you didn't go against Danzo's planning. You know what kind of man Danzo is, but you still allowed it to happen. I must say, that's quite underhanded for you, Hiruzen. Someone that always talk about peace, and this and that, and yet you caused so much death, when you could have avoided all, by just throwing Danzo off the council, and letting the Uchihas not be vindicated. I mean, pushing them back. That is what caused them to retaliate against you. You took away their power, and yet still they didn't say anything because Fugaku was a reasonable man. But you pushed it too far. Well, you didn't. But you're too worthless of a Hokage to do anything. I mean, are you even worthy of being Hokage? You have done nothing in your long years. But peace preach to this and that. Yet when it really comes down to thing, you don't do a damn about it. I mean, so many bullshit has happened in this village under your watch, and yet you do nothing to stop it because you're too soft. You're too soft to kill Danzo, even though you know. You must know that his root agents are still running around, rampant. Don't act all surprised, and don't act like you don't know. He still has his root, but in secret, and yet you don't do anything against that. Not to mention the kid that has suffered so much. You, who were supposed to be his godfather, going around the elemental nation, just peeping on ladies. I mean, Minato would be disappointed. What the hell do you know, said Jiraiya. I know that you didn't take care of your godson, leaving him fend for himself. You know, I've been in this village a couple times now. The Uchiha has cried so much time after losing his entire clan. Alone, he cried. He let his tears free. And you, Hiruzen, do you know that one time, Naruto Uzumaki was beaten to the point of death? Well, that was until I saved him. The villagers beat him so badly, it was a constant thing. But one night, it seems like they weren't stopping. Well, I ended up killing them all. I burned the bodies so no one would know. People just think that they went missing. But you wouldn't know that, because you know nothing about your own village. I don't even know what kind of Hokage you are. You know, when the day comes when you finally die, perhaps it will be justified for all the failures. You as well, said Void as he looked towards Jiraiya. And if you think this seal can hold me, you have no idea what I'm capable of. Jiraiya and Hiruzen watched in shock as all the chakra from the seal started to seep away. As Void simply stepped forward, it would be justified for me to just kill you two right here and now. The tense moment was then gone, as Void simply shrugged. Well, that's not up to me. I've got other business to deal with. See ya. And with that he was gone. Both Hiruzen and Jiraiya stood there. In fact, Hiruzen and Jiraiya knew that everything that he said was real. The both of them had let things slide for very long, especially Hiruzen. Danzo had his roots. He knew that Danzo still had his operation running, even though he told him to stop it. And he was right, it was like the village was out of his hand at the moment. People were not really listening to him. Despite being the Hokage, there was many things that was going on, and he didn't do anything to stop them. It pained his heart to know that Void spoke about Naruto in that way, because he knew that it was real. Jiraiya as well, as he has been blowing off Naruto recently. Well, not for a purpose, but just because what happened with the Toads. He wanted to make Naruto sign the Toad contract, but at the moment he didn't think that was possible. The Toads were, well, going through something, and he figured that he should, well, need some time to recuperate after the loss. As he knew that it wouldn't be wise to summon Gambunta here to test Naruto for his training, he might let his anger out on Naruto and end up, well, squashing him. The both of them sighed, and yet still they had no idea what Void was actually capable of, or how he was doing these things. Time skip. The Shinigami mask was on the table, as Void was sitting back, his face hidden by the darkness. You lost your cool, said Naruto, as they were in the kitchen of his room. Void stretched his hands. Yeah, kind of. You've been through so much crap. I guess it's affecting me as well. You know, from the way you talk, one would think that... Naruto paused. One would think that what, said Void. Never mind, said Naruto. So what now? I killed the Elder Toad. There is no way he could possibly find out anything else. You're asking me like I'm the one taking care of this plan. This is your doing. What? Sounds like you're leaving me out in the cold. Huh? That isn't what I mean and you know it. I mean, you have this under control. Do you have to keep on asking for my input every single time? Well, we are partners, aren't we? There you go again. Speaking like what, said Void. Never mind, said Naruto. When are you gonna leave this place? And stop this charade? Soon. Still have some things to do. After all, one of the main reasons I'm here is out of the village right now. Are we really gonna need the Uchiha, said Void. Yes. He will be a great pawn in the grand scheme of things. Don't worry. We will soon have our freedom. We? I already have my freedom. You're the one that is stuck here. There you go again, said Naruto. He shook his head, but he simply smiled. And he wasn't wearing the cloth over his eyes. So what? Is this a showing contest? Asked Void. I come here and take off my mask and you take off that thing over your eyes. No, I've just been thinking. It's been so long since I saw my eyes. It's quite strange to me. Really? Yeah. Why don't you go and get yourself ready? After all, the invasion can start soon. You seem cheery, said Void. It's been a long time since I stretched my muscles. Fighting Lee has shown how much I love to battle. And let's just say I'm looking forward to fighting again. Especially Gaara. Void simply smirked. I know what you mean. Fighting always get the blood pumping. Well then, said Void as he picked up his mask. As he slowly put it back on, his face was covered once again to the world. Naruto reached down as he pulled back the cloth, as he placed over his eyes, as it was fastened around the back of his head. Void then waved at him before he was gone, as Naruto made his way towards his bedroom. As it was time that he get some sleep, he then paused. What are you doing here? Nagato has taken an interest in Void. Really? Yes. Word has been going around about him. In the elemental nations. Obito has found out as well. After all, he is the one visiting all of the major Kages. What should I tell Nagato? It seems that the man wants to invite Void to the Akatsuki. You know, that's a good plan. Really? Said Black Zetsu. Yes. But what about Obito? Tell him that Void is one of my accomplices. Really? Said Black Zetsu. Yes. And who is he really? Black Zetsu asked. And why do you need to know that? Said Naruto. Because when I asked you, you told me that he was your accomplice in the first place. I know you're hiding things from me, and you're telling Obito the same thing. I thought we were on the same page. We are. I just feel like keeping certain things to myself is wise. After all, you can't fully trust everyone. So you're saying that you don't trust me? I don't trust you. Seems like you're losing your mind, Zetsu. Think about it. I trust you more than anyone else. After all, you know everything about me. You could tell the Hokage or tell Obito everything, but yet you choose not to. That makes you one of the closest people I trust. But not enough to tell me who Void is. No. Why? Because I don't know who is under that mask either. What? What do you mean you don't know who's under that mask? Why you raising your voice? Because I want to know what the hell is going on. How can you not know who's under that mask? You heard what I said. But he's your accomplice. He never showed me his face. Then how? What? Black Zetsu said, confused. You're lying. Void has just entered the ninja world. As far as I know, he was never here before. Even if he was hiding his presence quite well. You know who he is. And you know exactly what he wants. What does he want? Well, you see, Void hates the world as well. It is someone I found in the past. What past? Well, Mother sent me out a lot of times. to find things that most shinobis didn't even know about this world. That is where I saw things. Things I didn't even thought was actually real. That is where I met him, Void. He also wanted to see this world destroyed. But he likes to have fun. We fought. And he's powerful. I don't know exactly what he did. But somehow, his ability is quite similar to mine. But he doesn't tell me the exact specifics. Like what? As Naruto tilted his head. As he shook his finger. You know, you're keeping more from me than anyone else. And yet you say you trust me. What do you mean, Naruto asks. I don't know what kind of ability you have. I know you have the standard ability of the Rinnegan. But to the Tenseigan I have no idea. I don't know what it grants you. Madara, never fill me in. I was out with Obito. Aren't you Madara as well? How do you not know? As Naruto was gone. By the way, it's unwise to tell anyone your secret. After all, that is what keeps you alive, said Naruto as he was standing behind Black Zetsu. So you're still not gonna tell me anything? No. We're still partners. It's not like we're gonna betray each other. And by the way, if you ever try to betray me, you know I would hunt you down. And I would first slaughter everyone, including Obito and the entire Akatsuki. Just to make you pay. So you would ruin Madara's plan just because I betrayed you? Well, out of principle, yes. Because if you betray me, that means Madara could also betray me, because you're as well. You're quite destructive, you know that. Yeah, I've been told that once or twice before. Now as for pain, tell me you do not know. It's not like Void's gonna show himself to him. Now, if you don't mind, get the hell out of my house. With that, Naruto made his way towards the bedroom, leaving behind a pissed off Black Zetsu. There was still too much that he did not know. Too much that he did not understand. First of all, who the hell was Void? But guys, if you end episode right here, if you want the next part, this to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification so they posted. Remember, share to all of your friends on social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Became the God of Lightning and enjoy that guys. And I also post a brand new episode over on Anime King 2 of What If Naruto had a new training trip partner that will change everything. So go ahead and enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And yeah, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.